Don't tell a depressed person these 10 things. They are statements we make to people who are wrestling, who are struggling, who are dealing with depression, and they completely destroy them. Sometimes statements from parents to a child make the child to commit suicide. Statements that a spouse makes to their partner make them end up committing suicide. Sometimes words spoken by a boss, an employer to an employee make them commit suicide. We may not be able to save everybody, but we can save a few souls by just checking the words we speak on a day-to-day basis, because words are powerful. Helen Keller put it this way: sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will break my heart. That's so true. The Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. Life and death. Every time you speak, you're either speaking life-giving words or death-giving words. Words have the ability to bless and the ability to curse. Words have the ability to make and the ability to destroy. Words have the ability to mend and to heal, and the ability to shatter, to tear, to write off, to break completely. Words can build your home or destroy your home. Words can build up an individual or destroy an individual completely. Words can inspire and give hope to a depressed person, or words can completely depress them, destroy them, completely render them helpless, and they lack a reason to live for. You've got to check your tongue. Check what you do, and more importantly, what you say. So don't tell a depressed person these 10 things. Number one, never ever tell a depressed person, number one, what's wrong with you? Instead, tell them, when did you begin feeling like this? When did you begin feeling like this? 10 things that you should never tell a depressed person. Number two, you will die alone. You will die alone. Nobody wants to die. Even the best believers don't want to die to go to heaven. Everybody expects to participate in the rapture. So don't tell them such words. Instead, tell them, did something happen that made you start feeling this way? Did something happen that made you start feeling this way? 10 things you should never tell a depressed person. Number three, you will die and leave us here. You will die and leave us here. That's a great insult. That tells them you don't care. It's like you're celebrating their depression and you can't wait for their death. That's what they hear you telling them. When you say you will die and leave us here, what they hear is that nobody wants me. Nobody wants me around. Instead, tell them, how best can I support you right now? How best can I support you right now? That opens a space for them to open up. 10 things you should never tell a depressed person. Number four, are you the only one with problems? Are you the only one with problems? Remember this. Her job loss is not the same as your job loss. The loss of his marriage is not the same as the loss of your marriage. The loss of her grandmother is not the same as the loss of your grandmother. Yes, the loss of his business is not the same as the loss of your business. There are different contexts and we have different relationships. Your child is not my child is not your child. The loss of your dad is not the same as the loss of my dad. I don't know the relationship with your father. You don't know the relationship with my father. I don't know the relationship with your job, or how important that job meant to you may not be the same degree and magnitude to me. So don't try to compare things. You can't compare mangoes with oranges or with apples. Are you the only one with problems? Don't tell them that. Instead, tell them, you are not alone in this. I am here for you. You are not alone in this. I am here for you. 10 things you should never tell a depressed person. Number 5, it's all in your head. No, It's all in your head is a great insult. It's not just in their head. This is a severe mental illness. Don't tell them that. Instead, tell them, you are important to me. Your life is important to me. You are important to me. Your life is important to me. That makes the difference to this person. You mean the world to them when you say that, because they don't think anyone cares. They don't think anybody is bothered with what they're going through. 10 things you should never tell a depressed person. Number 6, look at the glass as half full. Look at the glass as half full. Basically, you are condemning them to be pessimists. You are telling them they are negative. My goodness, even if that is true, that one is not helping them. Instead, tell them, you may not believe it now, but the way you are feeling will change. You may not believe it now, but the way you are feeling will change. That ignites hope. That gives them hope that things will be better tomorrow. Number 7, things you should never tell a depressed person. Number 7, look at the bright side of things. Look at the bright side of things. This statement connotes they are deliberately choosing to be pessimistic. It's a choice they have made to be depressed. I tell you this, we don't choose a toothache, we don't choose cancer, we don't choose heart disease, we don't choose diabetes, we don't choose arthritis. You know what? We don't choose diseases. When you tell them, look at the bright side of things, you're telling them, you are looking at this side, you can look at the other side. Instead, tell them, I may not exactly understand how you feel, but I care about you and want to help. I may not exactly understand how you feel, but I care about you and want to help. Things you should never tell a depressed person. Number 8. Shouldn't you be better by now? Shouldn't you be better by now? That again implies is a choice how fast people recover. No, it's not a choice. That's an insult. Instead, tell them, I have been feeling concerned about you lately. I have been feeling concerned about you lately. When you say that, they begin to open up. And now, you may suggest whether we can seek professional help. When they begin to open up, they are ready for your suggestion to seek professional help. Number 9, never tell a depressed person these words. I can't do anything about your situation. I can't do anything about your situation. That tells them they have no hope. Basically, you're telling them, kill yourself. It's over. I'm done with you. You don't mean anything to me. You're no longer important to me. I'm done with your usefulness. Do what you have to. Take away your life. That's what they're hearing you say. Instead, tell them, recently, I have noticed some differences in you and wondered how you're doing. Recently, I have noticed some differences in you and wondered how you're doing. Why are you saying that? You're just giving them an opportunity to open up, to speak. And when they speak their mind, when they speak their heart, when they just speak what they have stuffed, what they have bottled in, the problem is solved by half. Half the problem is solved by just opening up the bitterness, the anger, the resentment, just opening up the air, venting off the frustration. That alone solves the problem by half. 10 things you should never tell a depressed person. Number 10. You have so much to live for. Why do you want to die? You have so much to live for. Why do you want to die? When you tell them that, they feel like slapping you. They feel like shooting you. And yes, some depressed people have ended up shooting their loved ones. They feel like taking their gun and driving some sense into your brain. Because that is seriously belittling a monster that they are going through. Instead, tell them, I wanted to check in with you because you seem pretty down lately. I wanted to check in with you because you seem pretty down lately. Basically, I'm giving you statements to help them open up, to help them peel off the mask, to help them tear down the walls and begin to engage. Because they're looking for a safe space. They're looking for someone they can trust to engage. And engaging you is the beginning of their healing journey. And all what I'm trying to tell you, this conversation should lead to one thing. Not just praying for them, but this conversation should lead to one thing. Seeking professional guidance. Reaching out for professional help. Yes, all these questions I'm giving you is for them to open up, for you to suggest whether we can look for professional help. Yes, I'm saying you need to look for a psychiatrist, a medically trained professional That is somebody who is able to take them through the journey they need to go through, to journey with them, to hold them, to hold their hand and walk with them past the cloud they are going through. For them to know that it cannot rain forever. No season lasts forever. Well, there's another video I did, 5 things that you should never do to a depressed person. Please look for it. Just search in my YouTube channel, 5 things that you should never do to a depressed person. If you learned anything in this video, please give me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it. If you have a question, post it as a comment in this video. I'll do my very best to scroll through all the comments and answer as many questions as practically possible. If I'm a blessing to you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Inspire me to continue inspiring you. The best way to inspire me to continue producing content that is life-saving and life-changing and life-transforming is you simply hitting the subscribe button. If you simply do that, you encourage me to continue producing this content. I give you this content for free. How can you repay me? Pray for me and hit the subscribe button to let me know that you also care about what I'm doing, you are interested with my content, and you'd want me to continue producing this content that you receive free of charge. Production is costly. Just hit the subscribe button, and that way you help me to continue doing this production. Thank you, and the Lord bless you. Cheers.